Yeah, it's recording. We're live, Adam.
So you do it?
Yeah, we're literally live right now.
Well, there's nothing more exciting. Someone sending a text.
Yeah. We're
Should I
live.
put my phone on airplane mode?
Yeah. Oh, mine's not actually. If it goes off, it'll record. Check your headphone levels. And yeah, heads up on the, if you hit the table. Now that I figured out the volume, or you figured it out, you can hear that, eh?
I can't hear anything.
You can't hear anything? Yeah, right.
Oh, wait, I can.
Yeah.
As long as I can't hear my own voice through the headphones, that's fine.
You can hear your own voice or no?
Kind of, not really.
Oh, you could turn it up.
No, it's fine.
Okay, cool. Well,
I don't need to know what I sound like because I know what I sound like.
yeah, this is weird. For some reason, it doesn't seem like I can see any,
Check.
check.
Do I have to be really close? Do I have to, like, put my nose on this thing?
Kind of. You know what? Hang tight. I'm going to stop it for a second.
You're doing that now?
Yeah, so I can sync the volume with the or the audio.
Excuse me.
With the video. Yeah, burp out of the.
I'm going to move this chair to be more comfortable.
All right.
I don't need to be so close.
No, man, it's like you just think you're on the radio.
Yeah, I've never been on the radio before.
Oh, it's mellow. So anyway,
I have a voice for radio, or a face for radio.
Yeah, that's a shitty saying. I got okay. The intro is coming up right now. So this is Proctor, and we got Adam Levitt here beside me, and we're doing podcast number 4 right now. So
At Club 302?
yeah, Club 302. You know what's funny is I've been doing 3 podcasts so far, so not too many. But last night we were going to do it, and we didn't do it because I couldn't figure out the audio. I realized that. I didn't realize what the problem was. I thought I had it all wrong for a while, and there was something wrong with the system until Adam pointed out that I had the out and the out and the in and the in.
Well, it was thankful that the most boring YouTube video in the world pointed it out. The guy was... I almost fell asleep, but he pointed out that you need the in through the out and the out through the in instead of the out through the out and the in through the in.
Yeah, because
whatever.
I was doubling up on the out and doubling up on the in. Like I was going both anyway.
Yeah.
So the whole time I've been recording with the computer's microphone. I'm like, oh, it sounds pretty good.
So now we're legit.
And now we're legit, yeah. So you can change up the volume. So you can
And we can add the helium voice.
Yeah, you
but
can do things like...
Okay, yeah.
You can make your helium voice.
Right.
Like this. Yeah.
We should just do a helium podcast.
Yeah, turn up your helium voice.
This is going to
be, oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
And then you can like, well, if you turn up the bass.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I don't like this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Have you seen the helium beer? Have you seen that video?
No.
So this is a YouTube or Facebook thing, and it was basically instead of carbonating a beer with carbon dioxide, I guess, carbon dioxide?
Yeah.
They carbonated a beer with helium, and it was like you drink a beer, and it was these German, it was Facebook, and it was like serious German dudes, and they would drink a beer, and then they would go and talk. It was like a podcast. And they started talking and they just started laughing their ass
It
off.
sounded like helium, really? Just from
Yep.
drinking it?
Yeah, from drinking it. But I don't see how drinking it, well, yeah, I don't know how
Well,
that,
the helium bubbles pop in your system, and that's...
but it's going into your digestive system, not into your
But I think it's your vocal
vocal.
cords it does.
I guess it passes your vocal cords.
I don't know if it does.
I don't know how that works.
Does food pass your vocal cords? I thought they're more sensitive than that. They wouldn't just be taking food all day.
Maybe not.
I'm not questioning.
Making food all day.
I'm not questioning you. I'm just like curious if it does that. Anybody out there?
My 2 years of medical school didn't tell me that much.
Here's the medical school now. Yeah. No, I didn't. I don't know. I never had that before. But, cheers, man. Episode 4.
I'm almost done.
Yeah, you have the other beers here.
Yeah, I've got my flask too.
Whoops. Yeah, so you...
My Halloween flask is still full.
I was just going to say to you, I was like, so you went over Halloween last night with your kid. And we were doing this podcast last night because you were...
The anti-Halloween
your feelings
podcast.
towards Halloween, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you take your kid over Halloween and walk the streets with... Is it a group of people? Like, you just go...
He had some friends. I walked. He sprinted.
So So he has friends. Do you look after his friends too? Like, are you? Are there
No, they look after themselves. His two friends lived on the street down here in
right.
Cheakamus, so they pretty much knew what they were doing.
Okay, cool.
So yeah, they sprint trick or treated.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
I mean, that's the whole point. That you got to get that candy, man.
But the rule with him is that if you can't carry your bag anymore, because his friends live
How
on that
big does it
street. Well, his friends live on the street, so they're like, "Oh, this bag's getting heavy, so I can go drop off my candy." And the rule with him is, well, if you can't keep carrying your candy, trick or treating's over.
Right.
So,
Well, how big? I don't get how big the bag gets.
well, he's a wimp. He's only 8. He can't carry anything.
Right, but still, 8-year-old strength and hold like 60 little mini.
He got a lot.
Yeah.
He definitely had probably 100 pieces of candy within an hour.
And you were saying that's who you stole those 2 pieces of candy from?
He gave them to me. He doesn't like coffee crisp apparently.
What?
So yeah,
That is kind of an add-on.
he doesn't like chocolate, which is weird.
Coffee
He likes
Crisp?
candy.
Right.
Coffee crisp. I don't even like coffee, but I like coffee crisp.
I used to eat coffee crisp as a kid. It is weird to eat coffee crisp though. Like it's a weird chocolate bar that,
Yeah.
like kids like. I don't know. Coffee doesn't taste good if you're eating it. You shouldn't eat.
Well, I think coffee tastes disgusting. I don't drink
you
it.
don't drink
But I
coffee.
like coffee crisp. I like my coffee crisp.
Right.
But yeah, no, I stopped to talk to McLeod
Oh yeah.
for 5 minutes, and I turned around, and McLeod probably lives like a quarter of the way down the street.
Okay.
So I stopped to talk to him for 5 minutes, and then I turned around, and Owen was pretty much done the whole street.
Oh.
Luckily, I could keep track of him because he was a Pokemon character, and he was bright yellow. So
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, where is he? Oh, he's just down there.
Dude, I don't know what were you when you're 8 when you're Halloween? What were you? I don't know what I was. Man.
8?
I think I was like, my costumes. I don't remember Halloween at all. It's one thing that I don't really have a memory. I remember like doing bad shit when I was too old to go out for Halloween.
Yeah,
You know, we'd like throw eggs or
like blowing people's pumpkins up.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. Oh, yeah. It was like 2 years ago, or last week. Yeah, but no. Do you remember one of your like key?
I
Halloween
remember.
costumes?
I remember a picture. I remember I was a clown, and it was actually kind of almost like the Pagliacci Seinfeld clown of
Right,
Crazy
okay.
Joe Davola.
Pagliacci.
But I also remember being Batman. I remember being maybe Robin too, or maybe I was Batman and maybe my younger brother was Robin. I can't remember, but I remember those ones. And then like older, when I was like maybe not a teenager, it was like you dress up as a bum, and so you just like pull clothes out, like dirty clothes out, and that's it.
I would get like a mask, like a rubber mask. It would be like an old man or some other thing. And I would just
Never
put a
did that.
different shirt on, and I would just go out like that.
My parents were never into like the ghouly, evil stuff.
No, but if you got like the old man mask, it's all sweaty and like there's
Yeah.
condensation inside, and your face gets all like, it's disgusting.
This is my problem with Halloween because I feel like it wasn't as like. I think my parents made all my costumes.
Ouch.
And it wasn't like, ouch. No, but they were good.
Okay.
My mom knew how to sew and stuff like that. Instead of like just going out and getting cheap plastic crap.
Right.
It's like now it's just like, just buy something else that you're just going to throw away.
Oh man, yeah, it's bad for sure.
That's my problem with Halloween.
My brother.
One of my problems with Halloween.
My brother, my brother's wife Angie, she made their Halloween costumes for their family.
Right.
They're like popcorn and butter though. It's pretty funny. I don't know. It's
Yeah.
I would never have thought I wouldn't. They're pretty well made. I don't know if I think her and her neighbor or something made them. Anyway,
A friend of mine, they did their kid, and it was like a Lego block, and it was kind of cool because she's like, we need the yogurt containers, like the smaller ones. So they basically got a box and then glued the yogurt containers. So they look like a Lego block.
oh, that's pretty cool.
That's pretty original.
That is pretty
and
good,
then there was a kid last night, and he was, I wouldn't say this is super original, but he was like, he basically just had a purple box on him. I'm like, what are you? And he's like, I'm a cube of Jell-O. And I'm like, fair enough. Lame.
I think they're like an inside joke with the parents,
Yeah.
or like
He was a Jello shot. That's what he was.
loves Jello.
Purple Jello
I
shot.
bet you it's a joke. His parents just gets hammered on Jello shots all the time.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, Halloween, I don't know. It must be interesting having, like, you walk in the streets these days. I haven't been out on Halloween in, like 20, 25 years or whatever.
Well, some parents get really into it. Some parents are really dressed up, and I was like, nope.
Right. You don't dress, oh, yeah, well, my parents never dressed up, I don't think.
No, my parents never dressed up either.
I don't think so.
But then, well, I guess my parents came out with me trick or treating. Although,
It's also the 80s, man. It's also the fucking 80s.
fucking 80s.
The fucking 80s.
yeah,
Yeah.
it was different back then. Although,
Yeah.
so I lived.
Everything was toxic. They weren't even trying to poison you. They just were.
No, but did I ever tell you I lived in California for a year?
I don't think so. No, maybe.
I lived in California for a year when my dad, I grew up in Toronto. My dad took a sabbatical for a year. He was an accountant, went back to school for a year. I don't know why he chose Berkeley, of all places, to go live. So we lived in Berkeley for a year.
Isn't like a famous university there?
Yep, University of Berkeley.
Right. Anyway.
University of California at Berkeley.
Okay.
Anyways, we went trick-or-treating, and because I was going to school, I was in grade 4. We went trick-or-treating, and this was the normal thing to do in California, is after we went trick-or-treating, we went to the hospital to x-ray all our candy. So there was no razor blades or no
Wow,
shit
really?
like that. I was like, well, this is new. We don't do this in Canada.
You got to pay for health care, but you can go to the hospital and get your Halloween candy.
Yeah, I wonder
Serious?
how.
That must have been a fortune.
Yeah,
Getting
that
kids,
is weird.
Getting kids in the
Yeah.
hospital early.
Yeah.
Giving them a stage to the hospital early. That's what it's like here.
Yeah,
everyone.
because an x-ray probably cost like $200.
I
I don't think
know.
my parents would have. It was probably a charity that the hospitals provided
be.
just for kids.
Jeez, man.
Yeah, to check out for razor blades and just general paranoia.
I think now it's not razor blades. It's like, I wonder how often that happens. It must happen a bunch. People
It's a
get
total
fucked.
urban legend. You could probably look it up, and it's probably happened like once ever.
Really?
That's,
I don't know.
This
Yeah,
is
maybe.
indicative of the United States, where one thing happens once, and now
United
everyone is terrified of it,
Yeah.
or it becomes an urban. It's an urban legend, probably.
Right. Well, I mean, here in Whistler, I feel like, I don't know if that's like,
Oh my god, no.
no, maybe somebody puts some like LSD on a
Yeah,
candy or
people are
something.
handing out weed candies. That's it.
Yeah, or the parents are high on the street waiting for their
Yeah.
kids.
Well, that's the thing too. It was like
Everyone was just boozing, probably.
everyone was boozing. I had my flask. There was
Yeah.
one.
That's pretty good.
There was one family. There's one house that has like mulled wine. And they're just like pouring out mulled wine to the parents and stuff like that. So,
Right.
but
That's friendly.
That's a hot cup of disgustingness. So
Mulled wine? I don't get that. It's like hot, sour
Hot-
syrup.
hot wine.
Yeah, it's gross.
It's like I think it's hot. It's like hot sangria.
We used to sell it when I worked at Glacier Creek. We used to sell these big things, you'd heat it up, and no one bought it, and it was all burnt and fucked up by the end of the day, and it was gross. Man.
I had it one year and it made me puke,
It's
and it made me
gross.
look. The puke was really
I think
gross.
it's like hot Jaeger with like a cherry scent or some kind of thing. That's what it kind of tastes like to me.
Maybe
Like a really hot Jaeger.
it tasted like hot sangria with like a lot of cinnamon in it or something
Maybe,
like
I
that.
don't even know. Yeah,
It was not good.
I've only had it once.
But yeah, trick or treating was fun. Well, yeah, funish.
I don't know. I haven't. I mean, I think the only costume. This is brutal. The only costume I remember is being a garbage man, and I wrote "garbage man" on a shirt, and I wore it, and I was probably like, I think that's why in my later years of being in Halloween, right? We lived out in the country. We lived there like in sticks. So your parents would be like, see ya. Like by the time you're like 8, nobody gave a shit where you went, right? So they didn't follow you around. So you just follow and be like, you just hear they're like sprinting from door to door, and whoever had the full pop can, that was the house,
Right. Oh
or
yeah.
like the
Or
retail
full-size candy bars.
and the retail chip bag, not the big one, but the one you
Oh,
buy in
yeah,
stores.
yeah.
Like they've gone and like bought 50 of those bags,
Right.
right? I
Yeah,
don't know.
that's key.
But like, yeah, that was legit, man.
We used to go to like in Toronto. We would go to like the rich neighborhoods because it would be like,
Yeah.
okay, they've got the good candy. Like they're handing out full-size candy bars. So
How much of a fucking Playboy move is that when you're like in a town where you're the only guy who gives out the full chocolate bars?
Yeah.
Or like the people who gave out the full cans of pop had an indoor pool. And their last name was Wilson. Shout out to the Wilsons. They're long past, I'm sure. But they had an indoor pool. I used to deliver newspapers to them.
right.
So I knew that I could go there and get a full pop on Halloween. Yeah, that put a bunch of weight in your bag, and by the time you get home, it was just a
Oh
time
yeah,
bomb.
that's the problem.
By the time you
Yeah.
get home, it was just a bomb.
And you've been
waiting to-
swinging the bag around the whole time too.
Yeah.
Just waiting to go off.
Yeah.
They probably did it to punk kids. They're like, yeah, we're gonna fuck these
Yeah.
kids up.
You know want to hear something? This is a true story. My grandmother put a potato in my Halloween bag as a joke when I was a kid.
To weigh it down or just to
No,
fuck with
just as
you?
a joke. I don't remember when it happened. It was somewhere because I think I trick treated my own house.
Right.
She put it in there, and I was super mad about it, and it was just everyone thought it was really funny. I was really mad about it, but it was a fucking potato in my sack.
It's like a lump of coal.
Yeah, but Halloween I used to get a pretty good haul, and I would eat the candy immediately. My brother always saved his, like hid it away. So he'd have
Right.
candy. I'd get mad at him for having candy like 6 months later. I'd be like, dude, give me some. He's like, no,
Yeah, I
saved
think
it."
I was like that too. I think I'd ration myself out to make it last longer.
I didn't do that.
My kid's not even gonna eat his candy, so I'm just gonna eat his
Bring it
pretty
here.
much.
I'll eat it.
Yeah.
I can't believe it's pretty expensive, huh?
Yeah, well, I was going to try it. The thing is to go and try and buy, like, blowout Halloween candy right now. You get it the day after, and then...
Just so much plastic and wrapping, man, to bring home.
Well, yeah, that's true.
But it's really good to have those smaller chocolate bars. They're giving them at the gym yesterday, so I had one there.
Yeah. They were giving them out at the grocery store,
Just handing that
and the lady was dressed up as a banana.
Right.
This is my problem. This is another problem I have with Halloween, because it's like people just want to be complimented. She was like, I went to buy groceries, and I'm like, she's almost like fishing for compliments. Like people were like, "Oh, you're a banana, funny," but I didn't give it to her because I was like, no.
If someone's fishing for a compliment, don't give them one.
But like, if someone has a really good costume, I will gladly say, like, Mark Solers this year. Mark, props. He dressed up as so that Fantastic Mr. Fox, that animated Wes Craven, the claymation
Yeah, I
Wes
haven't
Craven
seen it,
movie.
but yeah.
You haven't seen that
I
movie?
don't think so. No, I haven't.
He dressed up as a character, like, because they're all animals, right? So he dressed up as Fantastic Fox, Mr. Sun. His name is Finn, I think.
I don't know.
And it's like a bandit costume. And he's
Right.
basically got a sock, like an improvised bandit costume, so he's basically got a sock on his head. Anyways, watch the movie. That's who Solar's dressed up as.
Right.
And he actually looked like a little fox.
Right.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
So, yeah, I mean, if it's a good costume, you give someone props for sure. Right?
If you make your own costume, but
It needs to be good. If you make it and it sucks, it's worse than buying it and
Right.
it sucks.
Right. Well,
I think so, because it just looks worse.
right. But at least you put effort into it instead of just buying some recycled bullshit.
Right, true.
Or not
Yeah,
recycled.
unrecycled.
Unrecycled bullshit. That's just
Toxic.
going to remain unrecycled and go
Toxic
into...
tailor
Yeah.
making you some clothes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
I don't have time. That's my problem. And then the Halloween costume shaming is the other thing that really
What do you
drives
mean?
me crazy.
What do you mean?
Like, we've gone to, like, well, I wouldn't call them Halloween parties,
Shaming,
but
and
like,
people go, your costume sucks?
or you don't like. I'm not gonna fucking dress up because
Oh,
I
yeah,
hate
right.
dressing up.
Look,
And they're like, What are you? And I'm like, I'm nothing. I'm dressed up as someone who hates Halloween.
Yeah,
and then it's
because-
the shaming that,
It's-
like,
it's-
with the time we've gone to the brewery,
and
it's
costs-
like,
if you don't dress up, it costs you money.
yeah.
This year, if
Oh,
you-
that's right.
Yeah, this year, if you didn't dress up, it cost you $5. If you
Yeah.
dressed up, it was free.
Yeah,
I'm like, okay, but it's going to cost me $20 to get a costume together, but $5 to get in this place.
right.
I can't afford not to.
Yeah, $20, if that.
No. But if you have a costume, oh, you
It's
mean
not going to cost you $20 to get
Right,
a costume.
yeah,
it's going
right.
to cost you like
this
$100.
is who you trying to be? I steal your clothes. I'm trying to be my roommate.
Yeah.
That's the only way it's a cheap costume. Yeah, so it's
I was
$5.
thinking if you go to those parties, you could just get a piece of paper and put 0 fucks given.
Yeah, you could do that.
And I was thinking that would be a good holiday, fucks given, instead of Thanksgiving.
Yeah, right. That's a good
0
idea.
fucks given.
Yeah, fucks given. That's pretty good.
Yeah, I know.
We should do that.
Yeah,
Yeah. I'd be like,
do that instead of Thanksgiving. Fucks. Or you could do it on the American weekend. That could be your takeover for Thanks for giving her.
Man, that's got to come back someday.
Yeah, fucks given.
Fucks given. I don't.
0 fucks given.
Do you? I think right now, like most people look at these holidays as extra time off. Like Remembrance Day, everyone's like, "Hey, what do you do for the long weekend?" I'm like, "Well, that's Remembrance." Like it's like it feels like it's not associated anymore with what the holiday is. It's more associated with the amount of time off from work. And
Well, you could say that about any holiday. Anything.
That's what I'm saying.
Every holiday has been
Yeah.
commercialized
That's
and,
what I mean.
and hallmarked holiday. But that was the thing too. It's a long weekend for Remembrance Day. Remembrance Day specifically. It's
Yeah.
not a holiday in Ontario. I don't think it's a holiday anywhere else except for BC.
Oh, I guess it is different province to province. Yeah. Anyway, we're doing for
But-
the long weekend.
Yeah, right. No.
Hey, so
I just went away for a long weekend.
yeah, I was gonna say you went away to Kelowna.
Yeah, Kelowna,
Oh God, yeah,
Yeah.
that's an old word.
My girlfriend didn't know that term, and we were driving around one day. She's like, "This really reminds me of California," and I'm like, "Have you heard of the term Kelowna-fornia?" She's like, "That exists," and I'm like, "Yeah, that's a term."
Wow, that's I guess, but didn't she grow up? Oh no, she grew up in like what?
Winnipeg.
Winterpeg. Yeah, right. Anyway, so you went to Kelowna on a
Yep.
wine tour,
Yep.
and you said there was some extremely good wines and expensive wines there.
She totaled the amount up, and I
Right.
kind of wish she didn't tell me because
How much you drank?
No, how much we spend on wine.
Oh, well, yeah, but you don't do it every day, so. Oh, you mean the boxes you have?
Yeah.
Adam's storing wine boxes in his room. So.
I was like, she just texted me, and I'm like, I do not want to know that. I'm like, I just want to know ignorance is bliss. I know, yes, I spent too much on wine while I was away, but I don't want to know the dollar amount because now it makes me feel guilty. So,
Yeah,
whatever.
well.
I'm not going to say how much I spent, but it was a lot.
Yeah, well, we were talking about the wine clubs, right?
Right.
And you were saying it's like, you get wine of the month, so you get wine, what is it, one bottle a month? Or
It's not. It depends with each winery. So
You get a
this
box
is a new
every
thing
6
because I
months or
did a wine tour like 10 years ago, like a long time ago.
Right.
And so this seems to be a new thing where all these wineries have wine clubs, and basically they'll send you. It was like 2 to 3 shipments a year, and you kind of choose, but you have to commit. So if you join the wine club, basically it's like you're committing to at least a year. There's usually, with most of these places, there's no fee to join, there's no fee to leave, but you kind of have to commit to a year.
Right.
So it's like, okay,
That's
we're
fair.
going to send you 2 shipments or 3 shipments a year. You can choose if it's 6 bottles or 12 bottles. Some of them are like, you can choose whatever wines we make, or we'll pre-package it for you and send these wines out to you. But it's a thing. It's a huge thing, apparently. But
Yeah.
judging by how much I spent, I'm like, well, I guess I just join
They're
a wine
raking
club.
it in over there, man. Winos.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't.
But the funny thing is, this is what I've realized, is all the people who are involved in these wineries, they're all a little bit sort of mad. Like, they're all a little bit crazy.
Right.
Because they just drink wine all the time.
Well, and they're pretty secluded. Like other people that come to visit them, like nobody hangs around them. Like they're just. I feel like they're on their own. Like.
Kind of. And some of them are just families. Like, we tried to go to this one, and the guy had just closed, apparently, and so Lauren had called him.
Yeah.
And she's like, "Can we drop by?" He's like, "No, I just closed." And apparently, it was only 3:00 in the afternoon on a Friday,
Right.
and he sounded like he was wasted already.
Yeah.
And yeah, they're all a little bit mad. They're all just like obsessed about wine, and I guess you kind of have to be a part-time alcoholic if you're obsessed about wine that much.
Yeah, I went to a party for work on the island on a winery, Aaron Co. Winery or something like that. And when I got there, they had like this mesh and this netting all like across the whole, like all the wines were covered in like a white mesh
Right.
netting. Is that for bugs? I guess this time of year.
Probably, or frost, maybe. Like
Yeah.
as it gets.
But I'm like, if
closer
a
to
bug
winter.
can't get through a net,
Right.
I was like, so you put a net over there. So like, yeah, I'm like, cool. So the bugs that are.
But it's crazy science. Well, I guess it is science. The one
It
we went
totally
to, the
is.
one that we went to was like, because basically we just went to a whole bunch, and it was just like you walk in and like, oh, do you want to taste our wines? And it's like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
And they give you like 4 or 5 wines to taste. But the one we went to, this one Martin's Lane, it's owned by Mission Hill, and the guy who owns Mission Hill owns a bunch of wineries. But it's like his like pet project apparently, and this winery is probably not out to make money, just out to make the best wines possible.
Right.
And so we actually got a tour of that one and how they make the wines, and we got to drink these like they had just harvested grapes. So, and they only make, a lot of the wineries, they make like 6 or 7 different types of wines. So they grow different types of grapes, so they make
Right.
all these different types of wine. This winery, Martin's Lane, they only make 2 wines. They're like super specific. And the 2 main dudes are Kiwis.
Okay.
And I guess in New Zealand, they make Rieslings, which is a white wine, and they make Pinot Noir, which is a red wine.
Okay.
So that's the only 2 wines that these guys make, and they're super specific about it. So we got to try these wines, and they had just harvested the white grapes, and so I don't know the whole process, but when they bring wines in, they
No.
crush them up. Yeah, I'm not a winemaker, obviously. Just like I'm not a doctor with only my 2 years of medical school.
Yeah.
So they had harvested the grapes, and they'd only been, so when they crush the grapes, they go into these stainless steel vats, I guess, first for the first little bit, and then they get transferred. So we got to try these wines. It wasn't even wine; it was like an alcoholized fruit juice at
Mash?
this point.
Okay.
And it was like, it came out, and because it was almost like this greeny yellow juice, and I'm like, what the fuck is this going to taste like? And it was super good. It was like,
Really?
It was like alcoholized, super sugary grape juice.
Oh,
And I was like, man, they should sell this stuff.
Knock
But it
you
was,
out.
but they were only. He was saying it's like, okay, at this point, it's been sitting in the tanks for like I think it was like 18 days or something like that. So it's like the white wine, like when they bottle it, it'll be like 14% alcohol or something like that.
Wow.
And it was only 7% alcohol.
So super sugary and
Super
half
sugary.
the alcohol.
It was like, yeah, it was like a
wanna try it.
Monster energy drink. Like no, not the caffeine, but it kind of tasted like that, but
Right.
like super good.
That's cool.
And I was, yeah, it was good. I was like, why don't they bottle
I was
this?
gonna say, you should ask if
But then he was saying it's like
A
it's
bottle
like
of-
so bad for your teeth because there's so much sugar and there's still so much acidity in it.
right. Well, what about it's not like ice wine?
No,
Ice wine's super sugary.
ice wine is
Do
super
they
sugary.
add sugar to that or no?
No,
It tastes like you're drinking like syrup.
yeah, and
Apple
they measure
syrup.
the sugar levels. I still don't know how they do it. I think they just leave it longer at some sorts of processes, or they leave the fruit on the vine longer, so it's more sugary the longer it stays on. But yeah, this
Right.
was like halfway through the process, and it tasted super good. So we got to taste these wines that had gone through all these different processes, and then we got to taste the final wine, and then they brought it out with food and stuff like that. And yeah, but the whole building, you can't just go up to this winery too. We got in because Lauren, my girlfriend, her friends are members there, part of the wine club.
Other members, cool.
Yeah, exactly. So we got this super exclusive invite. The funny thing was too is that we were there, and then we went to other wines, and I think like I went to pay and it popped out of my wallet because I got the business card of the girl who was helping us out there. It's funny, her title is what the fuck was it? Experience curator.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it's a good.
That's a good.
It's a good
gig,
title,
man.
right?
You probably just like kind of like half cut all the time.
Yeah, it
I'll
seemed
take
like
another.
it. Yeah,
And it's like-
she was like,
That'd be awesome.
yeah.
You have a huge.
She was
problem.
super friendly, but she's also just like because I think that there's so few members that she knew like there was probably 20 or 30 people there. She knew like
all.
everyone there.
Right. That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
That's
but
pretty cool. And so these are friends of Lauren's that got you the connection.
got us in there. But anyways, we were going to these other wineries, and this business card popped out, and they're like Martin's Lane. They're like, how the hell did you get in there? And they're like, whoa, that's like the Shishi winery.
Oh.
And we're like, oh yeah,
What's up?
okay.
Yeah.
It's like we're
Yeah.
VIPs.
You
we're
would take care of
ballers.
us here since
Yeah.
we've been there already.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've never been on a wine tour before.
It's pretty interesting.
Yeah. I went on like the tour that Anheuser-Busch tour, right? Yeah,
Where's that?
It's fucking in Busch Gardens.
Oh, did you ever tour the Mun and Berry?
I used to work at the Molson Plant in Barrie.
Did they have a pot? Wasn't
Yeah,
there a grow
so-
up in there?
Yeah, so I worked there when I was in college, and it was like my brother worked there too, and it was just a huge like a beer factory, Molson. It was one of the bigger plants in Ontario
Yeah.
for Molson's. I think there's only anyway. So I guess it was there, and then they had an on-site drive-through beer store, the only one in Ontario.
Right. Yeah,
Because,
I remember
because
that.
it was manufactured. So I used to work at that beer store. It's pretty cool.
It wasn't quite on site though. It was like a little bit over.
Well, they
though,
owned the
right?
whole property because Molson Park had all
Oh,
those
Molson
concerts.
Park. That's
Yeah,
right.
That's where it was. Yeah.
I remember going to that beer store.
Yeah.
The
So
drive-through one.
Once somehow I guess they closed it in Barrie. They closed that factory. I think I was out here when it closed. So probably in the last like 10 or 12 years they closed that. Well, no, 15 years probably.
Longer than that.
Because now it's like
It's all torn down.
now it's like
Well,
it's being
Molson,
built up.
Molson Park is gone. It's like
Now it's like a whole like
well, there's like a
buildings.
Cabela's. There's like a sports like
it's a retail.
Yeah.
And it was a big piece of garden. You could cross country ski there in the wintertime when I was a kid.
best concerts I've been to in there.
Oh, I've been so like crazy. That's been the best place to go, man. It's like it's like a field of frolicking and music and any chaos. And then, but before they closed the building down where the beer factory was, they grew marijuana in there.
Right, but that was like somebody just did that, right? Like it
So
was
somebody bought it, and it was supposed to be a bottling plant or something like that.
Right.
To bottle like fruit juice or something. I don't know exactly what happened, but somebody bought it, and then they just had they had bunks in there, and they had like people would sleep and stay in there and do shifts.
and that was the grow up.
Yeah, it was huge, and then legit effort. I don't know who thought that was going to be a good idea.
That was way ahead of its time too, compared to the climate that we're in right now.
It was like 2002, probably 2003 or something like that, maybe 2005. I was
Yeah.
out here, so probably 2005 around there.
Yeah,
Anyway, yeah, no, that was a good job I had actually working in that beer factory or that beer store.
I used to stop at that McDonald's all the time.
Oh, the one
side of the
underground.
highway. Yeah,
The one you go underground with.
yeah. They had the drive-through underground.
Yeah.
with the
that's
gas
pretty
station.
Sweet. That's pretty cool, eh?
Yeah,
I always felt like I was getting the shittiest McDonald's from there when I was
well,
underground.
it's
When you're below the Earth's surface getting McDonald's.
right. Yeah, it's like going underground to drink in Whistler, but It's even worse.
Yeah, it's like Garth's on a Sunday.
Yeah.
I don't even know if it's open on Sunday, but that's what it'd be like. It's shitty.
Right.
Yeah, I never really. That job at Molson's was, they was always on strike. I went to go to work one day. And
What did you actually do there?
So I worked at the drive-through beer store, and I
Right,
pretty
okay.
much like, as you came through the thing, would go ding. I'd be like, "Hey, what's up, man? What can I get for you?" They'd be like, "I'll take a 12-pack." I'm like, "Cool," and I would just go inside, get 12-pack. And there was guys that would come through, like they were the same guys, like construction workers. We'd open at like 11 o'clock in the morning.
Right.
They'd come through. Hey, they would hand you like a tall boy. You'd give them 10 cents for it, or off their next tall boy.
Right.
And you'd put it in the trunk. They can't give it to them, but they're like, buddy, just give it to me. I'm like, I legally can't, because there are cameras everywhere. These guys are just like beaters, like Pontiac 6000, like
Right.
driving through, just masked. And they would come through. And then some people always come through. They're really nice, and they'd be like, "You have a drive-through beer store? This is crazy. We don't have these where I'm from." We're like,
I remember thinking it was one of the craziest things I've
Yeah.
ever seen. Like when I first saw that.
we were rock stars, man.
Yeah.
I got people gave us tips. We made tons of money, so we got paid union dues, union wages.
Oh.
It's all union, and we got tips. They were just throw money at you because people come by for the long weekend.
Right.
We're going to Muskoka.
On the way to the
Never been to
cottage.
this drive-through beer store before.
Right.
And you would just get they would litter money at your feet, and you're bringing beer to their car. And then I got some guy gave me a big spool, like a cable spool, the big wooden ones. I'm like, "Hey man," I'm trying to find, where'd you get that from? I want to get one for a table. He's like, "This one you can have it, dude." So I'm like, "Cool." So I hopped in the back of his truck and I pulled out a big wooden, a nice brand new
Yeah.
cable spool with no cable on it, obviously, and went home, made a sick table out of it. It's legit. That was back in Ontario, but yeah, man, it was legit. That was a good
Nice.
job. Yeah, that was really fun. That was
What was the most random job you've ever had?
most random job.
Well,
I
not
ever had.
random. Yeah, like
For me, I worked on a construction site or for a construction company with a guy named Ford, and he would do backyard builds, rebuilds.
right.
It was probably a TV show without the TV cameras.
Right.
His name was Ford. I was shitty. I was I tried hard. I wasn't shitty. I just didn't I was so I
Were you
could
just
do
a
it.
laborer?
Yeah, I didn't really. Yeah, I got to carry shit and
Right.
hold stuff and stand there and get out of the way. And I don't know if that was the most random job I had. I did it for 2 weeks.
Oh,
And
okay.
I was I delivered newspapers. I don't know. I worked at the Husky. That's a pretty.
That's a good one with Ray. With Ray,
Yeah, I worked at the Husky for a month and a half, 2 months maybe.
right? It wasn't the old Husky though.
No,
It
it's
was
a new one. Yeah,
the new
yeah,
one,
yeah. So
okay.
I don't remember the guy's name, but I worked with Ted.
Ted,
And I worked
right.
with all the. I worked
Rest
with
in peace, Ted.
Yeah, yeah. Ted pissed me off, man.
Right.
Sorry, Ted. I know what happened. You're not here anymore, but you pissed me off. And but
He didn't seem like the easiest guy to get
man,
along
I
with.
feel bad, but he pissed me off. Anyway, yeah, I worked there, and then I think the reason I quit is because I got in a bit of a thing with the owner because somebody stole a carton of eggs.
Right.
Took off on a bike, and I'm like, well, that's pretty cool. You're on a bike with your eggs. And he's like, go get him. And I'm like, what? I was like, I'm not going to get the guy. He's like,
Yeah.
go get him. I'm like, oh, I didn't really, I'm like, as if you're saying this to me, go get him. Anyway, I'm like, no, I'm not going to get
Realistically,
him.
you're not supposed to do that. Apparently.
Yeah, so I didn't go get him.
Yeah.
Then I'm like, I just quit. And then I wanted to keep the shirt because I had my name tag at Husky.
Right.
And the shirt, it was legit. It had the logo. It was fucking super cool. But the guy called my bluff, man. He trumped me. He's like, you want your last paycheck? Bring that 7-cent name tag and
Right.
$5 shirt back
Damn it.
to get your $85 paycheck.
Yeah.
I was like, fuck. So, but I lived across the street, and it was a.
Oh, you lived in
super-
Creekside.
Yeah. But it was kind of weird, seeing people I know. I'm like, hey, man, at the
Yeah.
Husky.
Yeah.
I was like 30. Oh, no, I wasn't 30. I was 27, I guess.
Yeah.
Whatever. And I mean, it gets a bit of an ego in my head, but.
Right.
I'd be like, hey, they're like, Proctor, you work here? I'm like, totally.
Cool.
Yeah. It was fun. I didn't have to do shit. He's like, I think you're management material. And I'm like, I don't think you're right.
Yeah. Perfect. I've been planning for this job forever.
I think we're both misled.
Yeah. Oh man. The old Husky
How
was
about
a
you?
piece of work. I've had a lot of weird. Now that I think about it, I've had a lot of weird jobs. Mostly when I was younger. I worked this job. I somehow got it because I used to spend my summers at my cottage, and my parents would kind of want me to get a job.
Right.
So I worked this one and I was basically like an assistant janitor at the high school. So like what?
Really?
So, yeah. So the summers. I don't know. I just remember that one when I asked you that question. I'm like, oh yeah, because I had another one, and I'm like, oh, I hadn't even.
Were you like in
real-
the boiler
I
room,
hadn't
like
re-
hiding shit?
No,
and
it was
stuff?
like basically like. It was, you kind of just had to, we were like redoing the school. So it was like, I remember it was like you'd move desks out of classrooms into the hall, and then you'd go and fucking like scrub the floor, paint the classroom, move everything back in.
Okay.
And it was just kind of like sort of minor renos to the whole high school
In the in the summertime?
in the summertime.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Okay. I
Yeah.
didn't catch
So
that.
the school was empty.
Yeah, okay.
And I just show up with this one, I don't even remember the dude, but just show up with this one dude, like local guy, and work there. And then the funniest one, I think, this was more comedic, was in Halliburton. It was near my parents' cottage. They had a sky slider like the one at Blue Mountain.
Oh, like on the
Like with the
concrete, too?
sleds, the
That thing's
concrete
cool.
fiberglass track.
Yeah, for sure.
So I worked a whole
Legit.
bunch of jobs at that
Right.
one. So I mean, it was like they had a chairlift. So it was like I was a chairlift operator, but you basically had like no safety training whatsoever.
No. When this must have been like 85?
I was like 15, like
Yes,
running a
like,
chairlift.
what year is this? Like,
It was
everyone's still wearing all brown.
88.
Yeah, right. They haven't
So
invented colors
you had
yet.
so many, and you would basically run through all of the jobs at the whole place. You'd work like, I worked in like, they had like a burger shack, so I worked in that, like as a fry
Right.
cook. This is all at 15, and I worked like, I don't think they ever allowed me to take tickets or dealt with cash, because that was like one person.
Yeah.
But I worked the chairlift at the top and the bottom, and you'd help people get on the chair, and you'd put the sleds on the side of the, it's almost like the bike carriers here. Like you have to
Right.
put the sleds on the chair.
Yeah, yeah.
And then you'd be like the start guy. So there's the 2 tracks. So you're just like sitting in the track and you're like, go. You'd wait like 30 seconds, go. That
Right.
was really exciting. And then there was like a
People must have got worked.
oh my God, people got fucked
Oh,
up.
fuck, of course they got worked.
The best
man.
thing about that is,
Sounds like people just got like,
so I stayed at the top, and then there was another one. There was a guy, like, it was like a track marshal, like halfway down, and there was these dips at like the speed point of the track. And you basically, like, if people wiped out, you kind of help them. Or you would, that's what it was. You'd radio to the guy up top and be like, okay, track all clear. And then there was a guy at the bottom helping people out. And then inevitably, people would wipe out. And because
Yeah.
it's like concrete and fiberglass, it's like the worst
Yeah.
skin burns ever. And
High
so we had
velocity
we had this
burns.
stuff. It was like Bactine, like spray on stuff. And it was like, you almost wait for people to wipe out because you'd be like, okay, we got to spray with this. And they're like, oh my God, these
God.
fucking cows.
Bactine, so
Yeah.
bacteria, right?
Yeah, just like spray it on. And then they also had a water slide. And then they found out that I basically like knew how to swim.
They found he basically. What do you mean?
I don't know. They're like, do you want to work the water slide? And I'm like, okay, cool. So I'd be at the
Can
top.
you swim,
I'd be at the
basically?
top of the water slide
Yeah.
and like letting people go. And then people would be like, they would jump in a train. I'd be like, I don't know. I can't stop them. What am I supposed to do?
Yeah.
And then because I knew how to swim, I don't know. I wasn't a lifeguard at the bottom of the pool.
Just the guy-
Like you figured like the pool at the bottom, you would need a
Right.
lifeguard.
Someone
But I
else.
worked it anyways. They're like, oh, you can just stay at the bottom.
You just see people. You just grab them out of the water. Like you just stand there.
Yeah,
watching?
like it would be like sometimes there'd be like a small kid come out and like with the
Probably
water.
you're probably just like a big dude. You're like, yeah, just you go because you can drag anybody out.
Yeah, but I was only 15.
I know, but you're still probably like a stronger guy than every other regular.
I was pretty
15-year-old.
small as a teenager, but
Oh.
but yeah, that was hilarious. That was like the
guess
first
everyone's
time I
weak
got
at
super
15.
wasted too at that job. Like
At
I
15?
remember. Yeah, at 15.
Irresponsible.
Where they had like no, it wasn't. I wasn't on the job,
Okay.
but it was like they had. I think like every small town in Ontario has this where it's like midnight madness where the whole town like basically parties until midnight. They
You
do
know,
like fireworks and stuff like that.
I-
Barrie's probably too big.
No, but I was in a small town. There was like 300 people in my town.
I don't know. I can't remember like Halliburton, and then there's another town like Minden that had it, and then like I think Bracebridge had it.
We were smaller than Midland, so maybe there's a threshold of like too small.
Anyways, I remember I was like 15. I drank 24 beers.
Yeah, right.
I
Really?
did,
Well,
I
I can
did,
see that
seriously.
happening the way you drink.
And-
No, just joking.
The way I drink now. Yeah. I've only had one.
I'm gonna get you a beer while you're talking.
Yeah, sweet. Yeah, and I remember drinking these beers and wandering through the town, and then we fell asleep on the water slide. Me and a buddy of mine, and it started. But we were like the water slide went down and it had these like big loops in it. So we kind of were in the loop, so we were like covered from above. But then it started to rain, and the rain basically started coming down the water slide, and we almost got like
Really?
yeah, we almost got swept into the pool.
Man, water slides are fun.
Yeah.
Water slides are amazing. I was on. Watch out on the
And
echo. on
the
table.
reverb.
Yeah, I was on work. Well, I go to work. I go to Island a bunch, and there's a hotel with a water slide in it. And sometimes I stay there.
Water slides are really good.
But the one that I go to, there's a few differences. So sometimes you're in the water slide and you go into the pool, right?
Yeah.
This one you're in the water slide, and you come down the water slide, and you stay in it in a contained.
Oh yeah,
it
like the
opens-
splashdown
it's full-
thing.
it's still full of
So
water.
there's no pool.
Yeah, and then you get out and you jump in the pool, and I'm like, that feels like I'm in like a cold, weird
Yeah.
bathtub.
That's lame.
Yeah, but it's pretty fun water slide. You go quick. I was like, whoa! I was kind of surprised at how quick it came out the bottom.
Right.
I was gonna take my phone with me. I'm like, oh, I'll do one test lap first. And I got in. I'm like, there's a good goddamn thing I had to take my phone because that would have been my phone wouldn't.
Now you got the new phone. You can do it.
I know. Now I can't. I don't stay there anymore. I'm like the Airbnb connoisseur of the island.
All right.
Like I know I go to some of the same places over and over again. And dude, I get it. I get it in towns where it's like whatever, it's fucking things up and people can't find a place to live and stuff. But in small town where there's no place to stay, it's really good. Like I think it's a beneficial thing. Everyone's been amazing. Like this one place I stayed at, it was like $85 a night, and
Are you staying in someone's house though, or is it?
no,
separate?
it's a suite. I only go suite or house. I don't go like room.
No, that would be weird.
That's super weird. Yeah. I mean, other comedians do that joke, but I just enjoy it. It's great. I've done hotels, but on the island, there's a couple hotels, and the rest of it, it's like a retreat where it's expensive, or it's like a motel, or
Right.
like a but yeah, Airbnb. I love
Way
that
to go.
stuff, man. Yeah, I got good reviews.
Right.
That's
Oh
one
yeah,
thing.
they review you too,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, you can get like Uber. So when I
Right.
went to Croatia, I was like, I'm gonna try Airbnb. I started Airbnb for the first time, and I was like, oh, I didn't know what to do, so I was kind of nervous, but it worked out great. I was like, hey, I got to make sure. My goal was to rent as many places in the first 7 days as I was there.
To build up your rating.
Yeah, to get a good rep.
Right.
So I was like super nice. I was like perfect. And I booked through, and then yeah, by the time I was done, they're like, yep, I could get like got easier because people are like, oh, they see your reviews.
Oh,
then-
so people could refuse you?
But I don't ever been refused. I guess they can say no.
Like if you built up a shitty rating, like people wouldn't rent
no, you're
you?
a threat to our environment. Yeah.
Interesting.
I don't know. Well, maybe they can. I would.
Yeah, I guess so. Like,
Yeah,
why would I?
this guy burned down my
Continually
kid's
trashed
toy
my-
house.
yeah.
Like, cool, yeah. I just charged a premium.
He upper deckered our toilet.
Yeah, the asshole tax. What's the Chicago sunroof?
Yeah, something like that.
Chicago sunroof.
Chicago
Cleveland
sunroof,
steamer.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's from Better Call Saul or Chicago sunroof.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
I've never rented it. I stayed in Airbnb in Denver, me and Sansalon, when we went to SIA, and it was like the bachelor pad of all bachelor pads. It was
you're
pretty
saying.
fucking hilarious.
Yeah, I've had some great ones where the other one I went to a couple times in a row. This lady's super nice. She has this like house. It's a nice house, but she built like this it's been totally renovated. It's a couple of white people, and they have this full on Japanese
a couple of
style,
white people.
like Japanese style home with like shrines in the backyard and
Right.
like it's really interesting. But they have a great suite, or it's a suite above the garage.
Oh yeah, like a
Like
carriage
it's
house.
legit, yeah. And then when I first started going there, she was like, "Yeah, I'd go there and there'd be like a box of muffins and a box of croissants, a fridge full of like Perrier and pop." I'm like, "How are you making money? Like that's like $80. The muffins are $12 between the two boxes."
Right.
I'm like, okay, and I'm like, all this pop. I'm not gonna drink the pop, but bottles of water. That's probably maybe $10 in the fridge.
But what's the play on that? Because that's the thing. When I did the Denver thing, it's like we stayed at this guy's, and he had like a crazy
People must be
rack
just
with all this
crushing it.
booze. And it's like, can we drink this? It's like what and he had he didn't have weed. I mean, it's Colorado, so weed's legal there too.
Right.
But he had he had a huge shelf filled with all these bongs, and then he had this massive liquor cabinet, and then his fridge was full of beers, and I'm like, what's the what are we?
You could totally go into a deficit with. I mean, he could
well,
go into a deficit with them.
we didn't party there, but we drank all the beers for sure. But then we were like, oh well, we're better. I think we replaced them.
Was it like his house? He just went away for the weekend when you guys were there.
Well, I don't know if he stayed. It could be.
Because they're like, because some people do that, right?
Yeah, they do. Yeah,
Doesn't Rude
it
do
could.
that?
It was weird. It was like, it was like a stabbing cabin for sure. Like it was like, yeah. Sandstone had the bed. I had the couch. There's probably less stabbing on the couch, so I felt fine with that.
The ouch coach.
But it was like, yeah, he had like these weird Centurion helmets and like
It's probably just his place. He just
it
left
was
for
like
the
a
weekend.
pirate themed bathroom. It was for sure his place. I didn't look in the closets. That was where Sandstone was. But it was like he had like a sneaker rack. Like
Sandstone was in the closet?
no, Sandstone was in the bedroom with the closet.
Okay, right. He's hanging there all weekend. I'll be in here, guys. Don't worry.
Sandstone's keeping that shit in the
Yeah,
closet.
you keep that shit in the closet? Yeah. No, Airbnb's been great. I mean,
Yeah, it was weird, but it was cool. It was like super cheap compared to like.
Oh, yeah.
We paid. I don't know. We probably paid a third of the price of what you pay in a hotel.
Yeah, you know what? I thought that too. And then there's like, if you look at the pricing and the way it's divided out, there's sometimes people can charge whatever they want for cleaning fees. Like, you
Yeah,
get-
that was the other thing. Apparently, but
And then it's
apparently, like Sandstone got a really good rating because we we
Yeah,
kept the place
that's the
fairly
point.
clean and we replenished the beers in the fridge. So it's like,
That's the thing. You gotta get ratings, man. It's like Uber,
Yeah.
literally. I mean, I've never been told. You know what? I stayed at a place in Croatia, on the beach, and I didn't. The guy, I was supposed to meet him and give him like a picture of my passport or something like that, so he can use it for like tax purposes there or whatever. And I was like, so I waited and waited and waited. I had to go. So I can meet you there. So I'm like, I left $500, my rent or like my cash on the
Right.
on the counter for not for rent, but for like this boat cruise I went on with him.
oh yeah,
So I left like $500 in there for him for that, and then my visa got credited for or debited for the room. But he was supposed to meet me and like because they have to sign off you were there or something like that,
right.
and like use it for tax purposes. And so, but he never showed up, and I'm like, I gotta fucking go. So I bailed. I'm like, fucking bad ratings. I think I fucking bailed on him. I'm like, this is stupid. But then he never talked to me, nothing. And
That's
so
too much stress.
I don't get how they could not have. I don't get that rule where they need to see your passport and stuff. And this guy didn't do it.
That could be an international thing though.
I
Who
don't know.
knows?
I think it's just a hotel tax they have to charge over there for these things.
Oh, maybe
Or
to
like
keep it legit.
I think so. Maybe I'm wrong. But yeah, that was a cool place.
Croatia.
This guy Mario, he has this big like custom built boat,
Right.
and he's got like a little workout section on the side of the ocean. It's like this where I was and split. There's like this whole like this like boardwalk, I guess, but it's all like cement. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's not a boardwalk, but whatever, seawall walk, I guess. And he's got this like boat rental place. Not rental, sorry. He'll take you out on his boat, and it's a sick like big huge speedboat.
Like cigarette boat or whatever.
Maybe not that big, but kind of, but like more comfortable.
Yeah.
So the guy I rented the place from was like, "Oh, want to go to a boat cruise?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Oh, well, I'm going out with him. We go overnight. Just give us whatever." It was like a few $100. I'm like, "Cool, okay." So I went with him. And this guy Mario, he's got like a workout on like a little space where he works out on the seawall, right by where he rents his boat out to people.
Right. Of course.
So he's always there, just like it's like literally cement, like metal poles with cement in buckets, like on the ends.
Prison
so
style.
I don't know how
Prison
much.
style.
It might just probably weighs somewhat the same on either side.
Yeah, right.
Anyway, it's fucking awesome. But the Airbnb was sweet. He was super. The guy who ran it was super. I guess shady. I don't know,
Maybe not.
but he didn't take my.
I would think
information.
everyone in Croatia is shady to me, but
No way. They're amazing people, man.
Right, yeah.
I just don't know what they're saying. They don't know what I'm saying.
I'm just being a xenophobe.
Yeah. No, I had a good time there for sure. All I did was like
Smoke ciggies.
I walked around, smoked ciggies, drank coffee, and ate beer, and had like croissant.
Ate beer.
Drank beer and had croissants now and again.
Right. Perfect.
They don't have great food over there.
No, the Croatian
It's
culture. I've never
pretty-
been to a Croatian restaurant.
Amazing olives.
Oh yeah.
Some good pastries actually, but I didn't find their food like. I don't know.
think
I don't know. Nobody ever says like, "Oh, the Croatian cuisine."
Oh, that
It's
Croatian
pretty-
cuisine.
It's
Yeah.
pretty heavy and bready for sure.
Right.
There's not much options. But
Like most of Europe.
yeah, you know what surprised me is the pastries in Japan.
Oh yeah.
They're very inventive.
Right.
And they have incredible pastries. Like on the side of the road you stop and they'll be like
But are they filled with weird things though?
some of them are.
Yeah.
Like the ones you have in the freezer.
Those aren't Japanese.
No, I know, but when they're filled with like it's sugary on the outside and they chicken on the inside.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
super
Yeah.
weird. But yeah, I don't know.
Those ones are terrible in the fridge.
Yeah.
Well, they're not bad. They just need a sauce.
Right. So everything needs a sauce.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I think where's you got to tell me where you're gonna go somewhere, man. Like on a trip or vacation.
I don't take vacations.
I know. Why not? You gotta go somewhere.
I know. I might be going to Baldface.
That's legit. That's
Yeah.
pretty cool.
Yeah. That's like a bucket list one.
Right.
So
And it's for sure that'd be super cool, man.
yeah.
Yeah. I think that'd be a great place to go.
Well, I don't ever take vacations. That's weird. Well,
But I mean, you do take vacation. You go to Ontario and stuff, but like something like just on your own, man. Going like
Yeah. Taking vacations by myself is weird. I don't know.
I do it.
I know you do. I
guess
I almost did it last year because I was like fucking pissed off. I got to get a Whistler,
Yeah.
but I never did. Like I was thinking, I'm like, I don't know. It's like an exaggerated going to a movie by yourself.
I've done that a bunch too. But I would even just say something like this, like I'm like, oh man, I would go to go to California for 3 days, get an Airbnb by the lake, by the ocean, and just cruise around, man.
Right.
Just like see what's out. I don't know.
But now I don't want to go to the States. That's the problem.
Yeah, I guess.
I have an anti-American thing right now.
Yeah, I want to go down there soon.
I almost went to last year. I was looking at it and I almost pulled the trigger. I almost went to it was I looked at a few places in
I thought-
Mexico. I was
yeah.
going to go to the Baja or maybe somewhere else.
Yeah.
But I don't really surf because I suck at it.
Whatever.
But yeah, I didn't because it was just more of I don't want to go by myself.
It is.
But-
I mean, it is. It's kind of like I find that I don't really interact with a ton of people when I go on vacation by myself. I
Yeah.
think I kind of being on your own. I feel like for me makes me more on my own when I'm on vacation by myself. I don't try to
Right.
reach out. Like once in a while, I'll go to a pub and whatever. But if I'm walking the beach, I'm like, hey, what's going on?
Yeah.
Talk to people. But I don't know. I just think it's like I usually end up hitting vices pretty hard. I usually
Yeah.
end up going starting to in Croatia. It was $4 for a liter and a half of beer.
Right.
So I put 2 of those in my backpack.
Yeah.
And some
Well, you're on vacation,
some
though. You're
sunscreen,
allowed
a
to
pack
do
of
that.
butts, and cafe along the way every time
Yeah.
I turn.
I was gonna go for the simple because I was but it's the simple guilty pleasure of oh, do I do an all inclusive and it's just you just do nothing for a week? But then I'm
Why not? I think
it's kind of a guilty pleasure though.
if you're
It's
with other people, an all inclusive is good. I think if you're by yourself, an all inclusive is kind of weird.
Yeah, well, that was the thing, right?
Like traveling somewhere.
I was gonna go for a single one because I was single at the time,
Right.
And it's but then that sounded weird. I'm I don't want to go to fucking
hedonism or something?
Yeah, no, thank you.
I've never been. I would go. That'd be pretty cool to check it out.
I don't think people go to. It's not a
it's
hedonism
shit
a
now.
single thing though. I think it's a swingers.
Hedonism
thing.
is a single thing. It's
Is it?
Yeah, I think they probably.
I thought it's more of a
I
single.
think they turn you
swingers
away.
thing.
No. Well, no. You just pay. It's like
Right.
$4,000 for 5 days.
Yeah, well,
I mean, I don't know what that's for.
yeah.
And
What
for
are you
the
paying
hopes,
for?
I'd get
It's
shut
for
down.
It's for all
yeah.
the STD shots afterwards.
Yeah. You just gotta take a bleach bath before
Yeah,
you go out.
right.
Whoops.
Oh
That was
Jesus.
a huge move.
But yeah, no, I haven't taken a warm vacation in a while. But I don't know, it's mini vacations, like this Kelowna thing, or I'll go to Baldface, or
Dude, you know what we should do? This would be cool. I don't know how long it would take to get there. Fuck. I think we should just go to LA or somewhere just in California or Vegas for 3 days.
well, you can only do Vegas for 3 days.
I know, but
you
I'm just
can't
saying
do
we
longer.
should just go somewhere
Right.
I don't
Is
know.
this for your big birthday coming up? Is that what you're saying? Is that
No,
what you're trying to say?
I'm not doing anything for my birthday. Fuck. It's not that big of a deal.
No, it's not. I've done it already.
Yeah, it's
It's
fine,
easy.
right?
It's mellow.
Yeah.
Vegas is cool.
I've never been there.
What?
I've never been to.
Really?
Yeah, I've never been to Vegas.
Oh wow. Yeah, you got to go to Vegas.
I don't think. I'm glad I would go now. I think if it was 10 years ago I went, I think I would have got myself in trouble down there. Now I probably wouldn't. But
You could still get into trouble there.
no, but I think I would have I think I'm more responsible now. so-
Right. Yeah.
I mean, who knows?
I've done it. I've
Who
done it
knows?
2 ways. I've done it as a responsible married couple person,
Yeah.
and then I went to SIA there once, and that was stupid. It's I don't even know how they had a trade show there because there was no business that could have taken
It
place.
was,
It's
wasn't it at the same time as the porn convention at one point? I think Trini told me that.
maybe, but I was never there at that point. I only went once as SIA, and I was I cannot do this. This is not possible. It was bad enough when I used to go to the one in Montreal, NSAA,
Right.
Because Montreal's sort of debaucherous too.
Right.
But yeah, and it was yeah. But yeah, so Fuck. But it'd be cool to go
I never
back.
got to go.
And then you can do it pretty cheap too, depending on what time you go. But there's so many douchey people there. That's the problem.
Yeah, but I mean, you don't have to interact with them.
Yeah, it's good to go judge people. It's actually a really good place
You're
to do
not
that.
judgy.
People watch.
Yeah, totally. Keep thinking. I'm just gonna make sure something's.
Make sure the video's still going. Your phone isn't turned off. Your phone must be like as hot as the sun over there.
No, dude, it's pretty good.
Having to video so long.
No, man, this is like the fourth one. It's like
Right, all right.
I've got them all on. Oh no, I deleted them actually yesterday.
Yeah,
It's
your iCloud.
It's like
storage must be-
6.5 gigs when it's done
Right.
on a phone, which is pretty
Yeah,
crazy.
Yeah.
Like this, when I was talking to my buddy James Kim, I was like, "Hey, what should I use for a camera?" And he's like, "I don't know this one." We were talking about it too a bunch, right? I'm like, "I might use my iPhone. I might get a new iPhone. Use my iPhone 8." He's like, "Yeah, that'd be perfect."
Right.
He's like, "Yeah, we probably work." I'm like, "Cool, okay," because it's like, it's easy.
Should try my big camera once too.
We should, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but it can only go.
Yeah, only
a half an hour at a
right?
time.
Yeah, so then I've got a DSLR too, and I was like, I could use that, but this will just go until we stop, or until the power
Right,
it
true.
runs out. And having the gimbal, I think, is like super.
Yeah.
I mean,
Keep-
a tripod
well,
would be the same, but
Tripod's the same, but
yeah, it was still pretty gangster.
yeah.
Yeah, when it's not like gangster, I guess it's not even gangster at all. It's actually
Right.
pretty, it's kind of nerdy.
It's, yeah.
It's the opposite,
of gangster.
Yeah, well, never mind. A retraction, yeah. Yeah, were we ever before that?
Vegas.
Oh yeah, I would like to
I
go.
can't believe you haven't gone to
I've
Vegas.
never
You got to
been.
go to Vegas.
Yeah, I think it'd be fun to do. I'd like to go there with like being okay with losing like $1,000 or something, right? To go there, you know, or
That's a lot of
$500,
money.
let's say. But
Yeah.
no, because 500 is not. I don't. I'm naive maybe, but I feel like
Well, if you budget it as like
if
okay,
you go with no budget, you're.
yeah, you can't do
you're-
that. That's
yeah,
fucked.
right. So,
but if you go like it's like an expense budget instead of like okay, I'm going to spend this money on like
car
well, you're going to
rentals.
fucking drink anyway. Well, you drink if
It's
you're
free
gambling, you're
drinking.
drinking.
Yeah.
So it's like okay, instead of $500 on drinking, you spend $500 on gambling, and maybe you come out ahead, maybe you don't. But that's the problem. I'm the worst at that because
not-
I've done it where I'm like I've been up like $1,200, like from like starting at like 60, and then you start losing. I'm like I'm gonna win it back. I'm gonna win it back, and then you're like, yeah, you keep throwing it away.
I've been to a few casinos in my life, not very many. I've never been up. I've always been down.
Well,
I
it
always
depends what
walk.
you're
Out,
playing.
I always walk out going, well, I should have probably not. I've never literally been like, oh, that was good.
Yeah,
I
you
think-
never feel good about it
I
unless you
think-
unless you walk out of there with a lot of money.
Yeah, I don't know.
But you have to play the right games.
I think I've lost like a couple $100 at the
Yeah.
most.
Yeah,
but-
Vegas is fun. The last time I
You play roulette? Do you ever like? Do you think roulette's a nightmare?
it's the worst.
Really?
It's roulette is. I think it could be the worst in terms of the house odds.
Oh, the odds are against you.
The odds are
very much.
Well, the odds are against you pretty much in every game in Vegas.
Right.
But roulette is probably the worst.
it's
I think.
most chance too, isn't it? And how they're fucking.
Well,
with
it's the
board.
most chance, yeah. But it's
no
the worst
strategy.
odds. There's no strategy because it's random. So I think like
You think?
I think craps gives you the highest odds. I think,
That's weird. It
and then
sounds like it
then
shouldn't.
blackjack.
The crap sounds like it should give you horrible odds.
Yeah, because it's dice, right? Because
Well, it's-
dice are completely random.
But there's only completely random between like the only 2 dice and 6 numbers.
Yeah. Well,
In cards, it's 52. It's 52 cards, right?
Yeah.
So I guess that's where like
And then roulette is just this wheel spinning around with a ball that can bounce anywhere.
yeah, they can't really fudge that
No. Well, they could.
with like a
Some
weighted ball.
Ocean's
or
11 shit, but
magnets.
they don't probably. But yeah, like I only play blackjack pretty much, or you can go and play poker.
I like 21. Isn't that what you
That's
play?
blackjack.
That's blackjack.
Yeah.
See, I don't know. I
Right.
don't know shit. I couldn't even get the audio to work yesterday.
Yeah,
And it was like
right.
a month and a half.
But the key to, well, blackjack is like you could learn blackjack. There's like 5 or 6 like basic rules, like what you do and how you play. Like,
Right.
okay, you hit on these cards, you stay on these cards, you double down on these cards, you split these cards. And if you learn that, then your odds increase. But then it's still random.
Your personal odds increase.
Yeah, the personal odds
against
increase
whatever
against the house.
Whatever the odds are on the
Yeah.
house, right?
So if you kind of know how to play, like if you play semi-intelligently, you can do pretty well.
Right.
But if you don't know how to play, you can just
You could probably still do fine if you just like.
well, blackjack is you get 2 cards, right? And it's like if you get like an 8 and a 10 because you're trying to get 21,
Yeah.
and then you'd be like, oh, hit on 18. Well, you're a fucking idiot, right? Like it's like,
Right, but some people take that chance once in a while, right?
well, that would be stupid. But then it also depends on what the dealers like.
If you see a majority of the card, if you have to do the math, like a lot of the cards that I would need to get or I don't want
Well,
to get are there.
you can't really play. I mean, you have to be some sort of Rain Man card counting genius to my kid.
Like, I was gonna be like an incredible card player.
Yeah, I hope so. I'll take him to Vegas myself.
For sure. Okay, well, go out, make us some money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't really play like because it's not just a 52 card shoe. Like the deck of they have like three decks of cards in there that they're playing from.
Oh, so it's like 150 cards.
So, yeah. So you, I mean, I guess you could count cards.
Well, there
but-
are card counters, aren't there? People who count cards.
Yeah, and it's
So they must know how many decks are out there.
yeah, they would know, but you'd have to try to if you're playing with like 5 people to like look at everybody else's card to try and keep track of everybody else's card. That would be pretty.
What does Zach Galifianakis say in Hangover about cow carding or about cheating? He's like, this could be a dead end. Sorry.
I just remember the retard comments, but
We're going to Vegas. We're going to Vegas. Drunk driving classic.
Yeah.
No, but I'm sorry for, man, I just took us to a dead end. Shit.
well, now we gotta look up the clip almost.
Nah, oh, sure, you want to, yeah. But what were we talking about before I just interrupt the whole thing and just derail this?
Well, we're kind of talking about blackjack and counting cards.
Oh, yeah, right. So Zach Galifianakis makes a joke about counting cards.
Right.
Anyway, they say they can tell when you're counting cards.
Well,
The casinos can the thing I understand is that casinos can be like, yeah, he's counting cards.
I guess.
It's
Well,
awful.
I mean, I think it's like if your odds increase that much, but I mean, I guess. Well, as you see in movies,
Can you count cards to be flawless and always win? Like
I don't
how
know,
how
maybe.
Rain Manish do you have to be?
I don't know.
Like manic?
Maybe. But I think it's like the Hollywood stereotype that there has to be crazy high security in each casino. So I don't know how much they're watching a random table, but maybe if you go on this tear of you're winning like $100,000, then they're going to start looking at you in blackjack. But the thing with Vegas is
sorry.
the thing with the Vegas is like you can play like the time I was there, the second time I was there was like not as a gambling thing, but you go to different casinos and like some tables are like a minimum of like $5 bets.
Right.
But then there's other tables you
Like
go to and they're
1,000.
like $100, $500 like for one bet. So you go watch those tables and they're crazy. Like people are just like, oh, that guy just lost $2,000 in one hand. It's like
That's
fucking,
crazy.
Yeah.
Man, I was going to ask you something. I forget what I was going to ask you. It's really, shit. Man, I don't remember. Well, those huge
Couldn't
bets.
have been that important.
When someone loses like 20 grand on a bet, or like
I watched that though, and the guy's just like, whatever. I'm like,
wow, yeah,
I would go to the cheaper, like the better casinos, like the Bellagio or whatever. They've got like,
Bellagio.
and it changes. Like I think I was there on started at like a Wednesday, and then like some of the tables, like you could play some of the tables even in the nicer casinos.
drink a Pilsner.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sweet.
I think I owe you one still from the other night.
Sorry, go ahead. I wanted to ask
The nicer tables during the week, like even in the nicer casinos, they were like $20, $15, $10 tables, and then you go to the weekend and they're now like $100 tables, and you couldn't get into that casino for like betting like $100 minimum per hand.
That's
Or then you
crazy.
go to like Circus, and then it's cheap, or the Luxor, which is one of the cheaper casinos there too.
Oh, the Luxor. You know what, Mike Berard, he was on a podcast earlier a couple weeks ago. We were going to go to Vegas a few years ago,
Right.
Christmas time. And I was like, let's go. And I was going to Luxor, and I was like, it looks great. And I'm like, everyone's like, no, it sucks. I think we actually maybe ran it by you, and maybe Berard knew because I never said, yeah, it sucks. I'm like, well, the Luxor, it sounds legit. And
Well,
like,
it looks nice because it's the big fucking pyramid.
Yeah, and it wasn't
but
like-
it's
it wasn't
it's
like-
like
it wasn't
it's not
super
like
cheap.
it's not it's not like the shittiest casino, but it's like it's mid range for sure, mid to low range. Yeah, don't beer crime it.
no, it's good.
Um,
These are, dude.
But you can. The thing with Vegas is like there's like so many good restaurants. There's so many like Cirque du Soleil if you're into that shit.
Yeah, I would watch that.
Yeah,
Why not?
it's cool.
Yeah, when I used to
You gotta
travel
go
for
to
work a
Vegas.
lot. Whenever I travel for work to a different city or something like that. What'd you say?
I said you got to go to Vegas.
Oh yeah, for sure. Sorry, I thought you said something else. You don't have enough base. I'm like, what? whenever I travel for work, I'd always make sure I would go somewhere and do something in that city.
Right.
So I've had a couple chances to maybe go to Vegas. And I was like, I would go to like see a comedy show or whatever it was around.
Yeah, there you go.
Tons, right? Tons.
Yeah.
But every time I traveled before, it's always like I would go. Like I was in Toronto, I went and saw the Leaf game. And I haven't seen the Leaf game since I was like, before I was born.
Yeah.
And then,
It's before you were
and then
born.
there's like, I
You
just
saw the Foo Fighters in Toronto.
So the Foo Fighters Toronto, yeah, they're the best show. They said it was the best show ever,
Right.
the biggest show. But I've seen like the Denver Nuggets, Boston Bruins.
Right.
I've gone and seen like the, I don't know, traveled so many places, but so well traveled, so well traveled.
The Croatian national soccer team.
What did I do there? No, I walked around. Like I thought I was trying to be like, I'm gonna go check out some.
Croatia's got a good soccer team.
They have a crazy history.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, so I was like, I'm
War-torn
gonna,
history.
Yeah, I went and saw some fucked up land,
Yeah.
castles that were like just like a couple of walls.
Right.
It was a scene. It's super hot. I'm like, come on.
Right.
It was cool. Anyway, tons of climbing there. Lots of climbers. And I saw a dude on a mountain bike. The only guy that's on a mountain bike. He had like hockey shin pads on, or like sorry, not hockey, but like the old school like Dayanese where it was like
Right.
all
The full
like,
shin to knee.
yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, he's coming. We're like going downstairs in like the middle of the forest. Or he's like,
Yeah.
bah, bah, bah. I'm like,
Well,
maybe
they had that World Cup there this year.
I
so-
know, which is I don't know where that was because where I was, they weren't on the same.
It was
page.
on an island.
Yeah. See.
Losinj.
It's Croatia is a fucking. It's not that expensive. It's an amazing place to go.
It's weird that it's that tropical. Like, you came back so tanned. I was like,
Dude.
really?
I went,
Croatia's
there in,
that
I went
hot?
there in October.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, dude, when in the summertime, like Dubrovnik and Split, it's like 50. It's like
It's basically the
chaos.
same as Italy, though, right? Like, it's just across from Italy.
A little bit south.
Yeah,
So, like,
more south than
a
Italy,
little
yeah.
bit, yeah.
And you're on
some,
the
some of the spots of it are
you're on the Mediterranean, so
the Adriatic Sea.
right, which is in between
Yeah.
Italy and Croatia,
Right.
I guess.
Yeah.
But it's kind of
because you can take a ferry across. You can take a ferry to Italy.
Right.
It's like a day and a half. I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't do that because I flew, and when I flew from, this is fucked. I was flying from. I was actually flying from Split back to Zagreb, and Zagreb is the main city of Croatia.
Right.
It's like there's like right by, it's actually close where they hold the World Cup in skiing.
Oh yeah.
It's a pretty cold city, and so because when I was in Zagreb and I went to that coast, it's a huge difference in temperature. It's like
Right.
hoodie and puffy.
You're in the mountains versus at the ocean.
It's kind of just cold prairie mountain, whatever. I don't know.
yeah.
It's kind of
high,
like
high plains.
it's like Western Alberta, or sorry,
Right.
Eastern Alberta.
Right.
And I don't know what I was talking about.
Croatia.
Oh yeah, it's
Croatia.
hot. So I was there in like October, and by the time I got from Zagreb to Split, it was like a million degrees. It's crazy.
Right.
Yeah. Anyway, you should go check it out. I don't know where the island was.
Yeah, I don't know. Losinj. That's all I
Right.
know where it was from.
Yeah. Well,
Lots
so
of rocks.
you got to go somewhere, man.
Yeah. Japan.
Dude, legit for sure.
Yeah.
We should do that. We'll book it for a week. Who cares? I mean, you gotta book it for like, you gotta travel for 2 days. So you just,
Yeah. Japan is bucket list for sure.
yeah. I mean, if you wait, you just gotta do it.
I know. Might not be this winter. We'll see.
Right.
I could do it for work. That's the thing.
Yeah, dude, just work that. Like, just be like, hey,
Yeah.
we got a story in Japan.
Yeah.
We're gonna get a bunch of Canadians in Japan. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Or go try and find Canadians who live there, who are snowboarders, and do like a guys who just live there.
Different take.
As like a hometown.
It's a different take.
Like just ski instructors from Canada, or not ski instructors, sorry, but like snowboard, not instructors, but like snowboard bums who just live in
You
Japan.
just live in Japan. Yeah.
Because
Could
there's
be.
ski bums who do that.
Yep.
I just saw my buddy, I guess I kind of know my buddy, this guy,
This guy.
Oliver Hibbert, I think his name is Herbert. He used to work with him at Glacier Creek on time. Anyway, he lives in like Niseko. Just had a kid.
Right.
He's like a chef there or something. I don't know what he does, but yeah, that's
I
probably.
gotta go somewhere warm, but I don't know. That's not happening anytime soon.
We should just fly to California for a few days, man, for the weekend.
California.
Why? We can go get baked, hang out, drink some beers.
It's America.
California's great. I got a buddy. We go to Santa Monica. We have a great time, man.
Yeah,
for
that's
sure.
true.
Yeah, for sure. You can do weed is way more even in Canada, even though it's not legal in the U.S. But it's
Well,
legal
that's a
state by
whole other
state.
thing to talk
It's
about.
far more accessible
Right.
in
California.
than it is in Canada right now.
I feel
because-
more paranoid smoking down there, though.
Yeah, I mean, I would too.
Yeah.
I mean, clearly.
There's probably the death penalty in the States for smoking weed.
We're not in Singapore chewing gum.
Still, it's crazy America.
Right, yeah.
It's noticeably more relaxed, though.
Dude, here's the deal.
Like, even in Florida, when I was in Florida, people were smoking weed, like, way more than I thought. I was like, oh, Florida.
I think it's quite loose than people think it is. I think it's just the overall American.
Not compared to here, though.
No. But, dude, when I was in California, my buddy picks me up at the airport. Maybe I told you the story already? I don't know. Buddy picks me up at the airport. I'm coming in from Nicaragua.
Right,
So I'm landing. I'm just hang out with him for a couple of days and then fly back home.
right.
He's like, hey, I'll pick you up. So he picks me up at the airport. He's got a vape pen. He's like, do you want to hit? I'm like, sure. Winters are down. It's super hot. We're in California. I'm like, yeah, I'm fucking psyched. I'm from California. It's cool. I got a friend here who's fucking sick. So I take a huge couple. I haven't really done many vape pens. I've like smoked doobies and I've done other things. But vape pens to me are still pretty new. So I can't feel it. So I'm like, huge hit, right? We're like right in the pickup zone of the airport, and there's traffic. I'm like, I cough out, just like cloud. The sun's beaming in, so you know when the sun hits the smoke, and it just makes smoke look like way worse.
Right. Huge vape cloud.
Dude, huge marijuana vape cloud.
Yeah.
20, 30 feet from the door of the airport.
Right.
California, I guess it's legal there.
It's not legal there, though.
It is legal in California, statewide, but not federally.
It is legal now?
In California, it's been legal in California for
I
a
thought it
while.
was only Washington and Colorado.
No, it's been legal in. It's probably.
No, maybe it's California now, too.
Yeah, so, but it's still federally illegal.
Yes.
Yes. But so I'm still in Canada where it's illegal.
That's so stupid.
Yeah, it's dumb. But anyway, I was surprised at the culture down there. That was very, like what I'm saying is like you can get it there pretty easy. And different varieties, like you can get it's so more advanced.
Well, that's like Washington, too.
Yeah.
When I go down to Mount Baker. But the fucking funny thing is Mount Baker is a federal park. So it's like you can actually, in Washington, you can get arrested for smoking weed at Mount Baker because it's a federal park.
Yeah, right.
But you're not crossing a boundary or anything. It's just a
Technically, I guess you
federally
are.
regulated park within that.
Federally, you're technically crossing a boundary.
Stupid.
Yeah, like I would say,
Yeah.
if you are in that state,
Right.
even if that park is
I'm not
the
doing
state engulfs that park, you know. It's
There's
really
like
the case.
there's presets in this board though, right?
What do you mean?
From what my super nerdy YouTube video showed me yesterday.
presets. Well, what do you
There's
mean? Like
effects presets built into this thing, right?
so you can like preset them to be whatever.
They're already preset in there. Like what's this? What does that number mean? 75.
Oh, I have no idea.
Yeah. So
But if you change it, it fucks things up.
how do you? Yeah. So that's all the different presets. So 80.
Yeah,
so,
but this between 75 and 79 is like voice.
well, what's below 75?
Well, it's still your whatever it is.
Yeah, but yeah, it's all voice, but each number is something different. Just pick a number and stick with it. Well, we've already done 75.
Yeah, but the presets are the same.
No, they're all different apparently.
Here's 58.
What does this
It's
do?
gonna change. Check this out.
What does it do?
See?
Well,
Did you just change something?
no, it's still. Why is it flashing?
I don't know.
You got to do this
How do you know these things?
because I. Oh yeah, see.
Oh, that's pretty
Yeah,
cool.
see?
Man.
This is what my YouTube nerdy guy showed me.
Wait. How come I'm not echoing?
Because your FX thing is not.
Oh. So now, oh, dude, legit.
See?
See.
Okay, hold on. I cut mine off.
This is hilarious.
I'm gonna do something else, and then you press it.
Oh,
So now what do we have?
what's this one?
It's just. Oh, this is
Oh,
like a little bit different.
feels like you're in like an outhouse by yourself. That's what it sounds like.
Sure.
Well, everyone's gonna know what it sounds like. Well, whoever one is.
The one I really want to know is what 69 is.
Oh yeah, it's probably what? Boom.
I don't know what this is. Oh, this one's very subtle. It's
All right,
something.
Let me go down to something crazy here. Let's go to like.
You got to press it
Let's go
afterwards.
to 10.
Right. Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Okay. That's
what's
like
this
a
sound like?
short echo.
It sounds like this is actually quite hilarious. So I guess because when I got it, it was on 75,
Oh, right.
and I
okay.
didn't read the ingredients. I didn't read the instructions.
You need to listen to the most boring YouTube video ever, the
dude,
one that
that
I
guy-
watched last night.
The auto drone,
Yeah.
29. Whoa.
That's a really okay.
feel like I'm lost.
I'm not an echo either. but
Hello?
Now we're in a cave.
Hello?
Yeah. Hello.
Can anybody hear me?
The interesting thing is what if this will actually record your computer,
I
because
think it will.
you thought you were using the effects last time.
Yeah, what's this one? 41. 41.
That's something, but
It's a bit it's a bit different.
yeah.
Let's go up to what do we got here? What's the highest to go to?
100.
Let's go to
There's
99.
You talk. I don't want
And
to.
hello.
Oh,
Oh.
it's like an
Sounds
echo.
like-
An echo.
You know what? If we do helium voice, if we do helium voice, I went on helium voice for like 10 minutes now. Damn it.
No.
Okay, now I'm totally off helium voice.
Well, this is helium echo voice. I'm going to call this one. The
Okay.
Wayne Gretzky
Let's-
helium echo voice.
What's the next number you want to try?
I don't know. If there's a 420, I'd want to try that one, but there's no 420.
Let's just do 4.
Sure. Ch.
Ch. Check, check. 1, 2.
Yeah,
It
that's,
sounds like if I was on a
we're in a concert hall.
yeah, like if you turn the effects of it down, it changes.
Were there no instruction? Was it when you bought this thing, or did you
Dude,
not
the
read
instructions were like
instructions?
it had literally it was like the electrical engineering
Aren't you
drawing.
glad that I know how to use this thing then?
It was like the electrical engineering drawing of the circuit board, and it would just point to things.
Right.
Yeah, it had
The
nothing.
guy who
else.
was explaining it was like, he would talk,
I keep turning it on here.
and then he would stop
Yeah, for like half an hour.
for 30 seconds. But it was the most monotonous voice ever.
But you know what, dude? Now you know how to operate my sound mixer.
Right. So I'll be your sound engineer now,
Dude,
so I don't have to be on these things
Dude,
anymore. I'll
yeah.
just be the sound engineer.
Yeah, I think you should be.
I could be the camera operator too, because I kind of know how to operate a camera.
Oh,
Sort of.
The gimbal operates itself, man.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, it's over there, like just
Old
gimbaling.
Gimbletron 2000.
Yeah, it's all gimbaled.
I also think. You
Okay,
need
we got to
press
put this
the
back to
buttons.
regular. So
I'm regular.
no,
You're going back to 75.
yeah. I think it's only if.
Well, I turned my FX down.
Yeah, my FX are
I
off.
have really terrible posture because this is so low. So I need to.
Yeah, fix it up, man. I see you're getting texts over there. I don't think you should. It's a good idea to be answering those.
No, they're just Instagram notifications
Oh yeah, you get Instagram notifications.
with all the Instagram accounts that I.
How many times on your personal Instagram account do you post a week? Is it standard or is it periodic depending
Random.
on what's happening?
Completely random. I don't even post about what's happening usually.
Right.
The last photo I posted was from last February, and I posted
What?
that last week.
You haven't posted a photo. Wait.
No, it was an old photo, but I posted
Oh.
it last week.
And do you reference it as like it's? What kind of gets me is when people post photos and make it seem like it's happening right now.
Well, sometimes I do. Actually, the last photo, I don't know if I should say this.
Oh.
The last photo I posted, I pulled down because it was an illegal photo
Shite.
with the drone.
Oh yeah, over the provincial park, dude.
The cops are coming right now.
Yeah, no, there's no chance they're hearing this.
Yeah. There's no chance. They could be one of your 3 subscribers.
Yeah, no, I know. I don't. So I've had the 2 subscribers forever.
Right.
The one guy I got the other night at the brewery because I was talking shit about how good my podcast was.
Yeah, I had to pull my last photo down, but that's fine.
Yeah, well, better than leaving it up and get. I'm sure they wouldn't bust you.
I don't know. Jeff Patterson said that they actually are trolling social
yeah.
media.
You dropping
But
names.
like, it's honestly, I don't know. Like drones are now so popular. I don't know how they can actually patrol that shit.
It must be tough. I mean, who's gonna be like, hey, where's that picture taken from? It was Brandywine. They're not gonna like.
Well, they
troll-
could almost search like because I.
Is it geotags? If they
Well, no, I hashtagged my drone in it because a lot of people will do that.
I mean, hashtag. What do you mean your drone?
Well,
You
because
hashtag
I like
the
it
words
with
my drone.
No, I hashtag like DJI Mavic Pro 2 or whatever.
Oh, yeah, but that's probably hashtagged a bunch.
But they could search those things.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
Copy that.
So they could
Right.
search the hashtag. That's what I mean.
Right. They're and who are we talking about? The CRTC or something like that, or like sorry,
No,
that's
the
Canadian government.
Canada Transport Canada
They're
or something like that.
No one knows how to use the hashtag.
True.
I don't know. I probably they all do. I mean, I know how.
Patterson seemed he was very helpful.
He's a knowledgeable dude. I bet on that
Oh,
subject.
yeah.
So I'm
Yeah.
sure I would listen.
He's
to him.
got serious drones, not like toy drones like mine. So
He's got like full on cameras on his helicopters.
yeah, he's got like a red,
yeah.
a drone with a red.
Really?
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, that's insane to me.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Well, you saw that Arctic shit that he had. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But that was also 3D. I don't even know. I should have asked him how he actually did that, but
It's CGI. It's all fake.
sure. They didn't even go to the Antarctic.
Yeah, it's like they can, they can
They
fake
just-
going to the moon.
they
They, can
just-
fake going to the Antarctic,
Jesus.
man.
They
If
just, green screened that whole thing.
yeah, you went to the moon? Yeah, right. You went to the Antarctic? Yeah, right.
Yeah.
We're at the bottom of the ocean? Yeah, right.
Cameras are in 4K now, so it makes
Yeah,
it even
yeah.
easier to do.
It's easier to film. Like
and way better CGI.
we're 5,000 feet deep in the ocean. We see this
Right.
fish with a light overhanging, dangling over its
Yeah.
own head. You're like, yeah, right.
It's all Steven Spielberg.
Tim Burton
Shit. Yeah.
making that shit up.
Right.
I don't know how long it's been. I think it's been like an hour and
What time do we start?
15 minutes. I think we started like 9, perhaps.
Isn't there a time clock on that?
Yeah, but this
thing?
says, look, it says 23:23:95.
I don't know what that means. It
It
probably says something on your camera over there.
Yeah, it will for sure. Yeah, but
On the
I'll go
phone-ish.
check. I'm gonna lose battery power on my computer here soon too.
Well, that's probably a good time to stop because now we're talking about nothing too.
Hour 22.
Jesus.
All right, we made it, man. We made it past the finish line.
There's a finish line. Okay.
Well, I think
cool.
an hour is pretty good.
Very good.
Yeah, an hour is pretty solid.
And we can end the
Yeah.
sync the
That's
audio
what it's
to the
for.
clap.
Yeah.
Okay, right.
Yep, celebration and,
Very
and syncing.
very subtle.
Well, okay, podcast number 4. We should do this again. We should do this a lot more.
All right.
Anyway, thank you. Yeah, it's pretty good, right?
Yeah.
It's pretty fucking fun.